Oh my god, dude. I will admit, everyone, my brain does feel like mush.
Jazz was for ordinary people.
Good morning, everyone. Hi.
Meaning of jazz.
Oh. Off topic, Mamdani is China maxing. Yes.
Meaning of jazz.
I love that for him. Hi, guys. Good morning. It is Sunday. I'm Febreze my beanies and moisturize my scalp for this. Excellent. Good. I have a great show for you all today. Jubilee said that they're going to be releasing a Tim Pool special. Yes, that's right. Oh. I don't understand. Okay, anyways, but we have many things to get to before then. I think they usually release it at like 9, but maybe they release it a little bit later. And I, in the meantime, would like to show you all a very funny clip. And then 20 hair people versus 1 beanie. Ain't no way Tim got even a single point off. A Tim Pool special. If that boy's on Surrounded, he's gonna come out worse than Dave Rubin. What would be your Surrounded topic? Oh, dude, I don't know. Ask me when I'm not sick, man. Listen, we're going through the motions right now. We're doing the bare minimum. Where are the boxing gloves from behind you? Oh, this is from Creator Clash. From Creator Clash 2. Ah. my Surrounded topic. Penny is an S tier tank. You're always sick? Hey, this has been my longest period of time of not being sick. You called yourself getting sick the other week because you were talking about how you never get sick. That's not true. I've never said I never get sick. I said, I can't believe I haven't gotten sick in so long. And then I got sick. You were sick 2 weeks ago? No, those were allergies. They were really bad allergies. But that was not being sick. But trust me, guys, I know when I'm sick, okay? I know what being sick feels like. Skip gargle day. And then a bunch of people are like, huh, isn't it interesting that you said gargling warm water stops you from getting sick, but you're sick? It's like, guess what happened? I didn't gargle warm water. That's what happened. And that's why I got sick. Hello, Mayor Worm. I mean, not Mayor Worm. Wormy. Hello, Wormy. Look at her. Warming. She tried to do this while I was doing my makeup. It was so annoying. So it was intentional? No, I just forgot. Have you tried getting a better immune system? You know what, man? Fuck you. What does your shirt say? I don't fucking know. Nothing good. It's just some stupid shirt that doesn't say anything. All right. I wasn't sick. It was an unrelated health issue. Don't put it in the paper that I was sick. Shut up. Yeah, the shirt says only good can happen. Okay. Yeah, I think it actually one chatter already got it. I think it says slurp zone. Oh, guys, why is it so hot in this room? Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm like melting. All right, enough of that. So we're gonna watch the Tim Pool when it comes out, the Tim Pool episode when it comes out, and then I wanted to show you guys a fun little clip. And also, I don't know how much energy I can dedicate to it, but did you guys see that the guy, the the you like sniz guy, debated Candace Owens or something? He got owned? Of course he did. Let me close these. Close. All right, here you guys go. This is for you.
Have to have that dog in you. And
Wait, wait.
The real leader of the left. What is this? Stavi baby? That's my goat. Unc, stop what you're doing and listen to the fair use queen's sage advice.
Okay, I don't know how to talk about this. I saw some tweets from, like, I guess Haas Twitter talking about how considering that there's so much, I think even Austin Knox was tweeting about it, considering that there's so much attention and media attention on HASAN right now, I think this is a great opportunity to bring back Hogwatch. Because if you have all these eyes on you, wouldn't it be worthwhile?
This was literally 20 minutes after you said it. Also, fuck me for not, like, formulating my opinion perfectly because I'm fucking sick, man.
To bring out some of the best segments. Because realistically, the people that, like, this is my, again, radical opinion, which is, I feel, I think in order to be a content creator on the internet, you have to be a little bit delusional. You have to feel like you're kind of, like, in your brain that you can overcome all odds, just because of how, like, statistically unlikely it is, right?
I mean, I do have that.
Okay, the rest of that point, which people who watch the stream know, the rest of that point was, if you're going to be delusional anyways, you should be delusional enough to think that you can turn your haters into value-tained watchers. That if you're going to get so many haters watching your stream and you're going to get so much negative press, then believe in yourself, believe in the me that believes in you, or believe in the you that believes in you, that you can convince even your biggest haters to be so value-tained they can't leave the stream. They're like, listen, I don't like him, but stream's good. News coverage is good. It's good. What can I do? And that's what I was trying to say, but I was so, I'm still sick, but I was so sick I didn't put that in within a minute.
I do got that dog in me, so it works. That is true, though. I think the fair use queen is correct. You have to have that dog in you. And my dog is barking. My dog in me is barking.
Right? Time for Chad Vice. I'm just saying. And I think it's like,
That's not easy, having this effect. It's not easy. All right. Less convincing when you're that sick. You know what, man? Listen. Hey, I might be sick, but I'm here. God damn it. I am here. All right. Wait, someone said the Jubilee is out. Hold up. Oh, sorry. I was reading chat. You sound like Millhouse trying to be tough right now. You know what, man? Fuck you. This is what I get for streaming when I'm sick. This is what I get. I power through. I go live. I take a concoction right before bed to ensure that I can get the best night's sleep that I can. And this is the thanks I get. Do you want me to end stream? Would that make you happy? Would that? I said in my title, be nice. All right.
You have a lot of politicians on the Democrat side who got behind authoritarian practices during COVID. I'm not going to support those individuals. I
So,
will
but
say,
the authoritarian practices today, you're willing to look past.
some of them, yes.
Oh no. Well, I think this is the biggest problem with Tim Pool. This 5-second clip is all you need to know. Okay, it's a 10-second clip. Is all you need to know about Tim Pool, where he is so unbelievably biased towards the right, but he still pretends to be a principled person. Like, I would say Asmongold doesn't even pretend to be a principled person. He literally will just outwardly say, well, I don't care. I will use any strategy possible. I think our side should use any strategy possible to win. And I don't think they should be able to, like the opposing side, like the left, should be able to do any of the things that we do. Only we should be able to do them because we're trying to achieve Christo-fascist utopia or whatever. But Tim Pool pretends like he has all of these, like, principled values and beliefs, and then the second that it comes, like, push comes to shove, it's like, oh well, yeah, of course it's fine when my side does it. It's like, wait, what?
Come on, man.
The mainstream political left commits more violence than the
Okay.
mainstream political right.
None of what you're saying makes any sense. It sounds like
It
you're
does.
honestly grifting a lot.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you a
civil
question.
war every fucking year and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're gonna
never
say
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Do you want me to get you a
I'm just saying,
soapbox?
it's really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to
It's
go?
really easy to
You want me
like,
to
do
leave?
what you do.
You want me to
It's
leave?
really easy to do what you do.
Is the United States tracking towards
Rage quitting the debate that I signed up for. Okay. By the way, the most oriful play is to just let the person talk as long as they'd like and be like, just look at them with a severe sense of disappointment, the way that Sam Cedar does. Walking away like that is the most bitch-made thing you can do.
civil war, or is America more united than it seems? Hi everyone, I'm Paris Rose, and I'll be filling in for John today. From Jubilee Media, this is Surrounded, where one brave soul faces a room full of disagreeers. Today we're debating which political party is more violent. Is authoritarianism on the rise in America? And have both parties abandoned?
Oh yeah, if the right is as violent as the left is, then why is it that only the left is mean to me? Then why is that?
And then their oath to the Constitution. I'm here with our featured guest, moderate political commentator, Tim Pool.
Hi, I'm Tim Pool. I'm the host of Timcast IRL, and today I'm surrounded by progressives. My first surrounded claim is that the mainstream left commits more violence than the mainstream right.
If you'd like to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3.
It's not even true, too. It's just like, how much research do we need to like pull up at this point to show that this isn't true?
Two, one.
Sammy,
How's it going? Hey.
Great to meet you, buddy. How you doing?
Likewise. Pretty good, pretty good.
There seems to be like a broader implication with your prompt that there's this domestic threat from mainstream left politicians. Like, do you really think Hillary Clinton's like leading the Vanguard Revolution Party? Like,
No.
What is your take?
When you look at the violence that we do see,
Great starting point, by the way, Mason. Getting him to define what mainstream left is a great starting point.
it's from I describe it as from blunt to acute, which is with the fringe extreme right, you'll see extreme mass shootings. You'll see someone will show up and they'll unload on people, things like that. On the left, though, you'll see riots, vandalism that you don't see from the right. But the point I'm making is that when you break down the ideology
Just
that
ignore, January 6th. Just ignore the Proud Boys. Just ignore Charlottesville. Just ignore Kyle Rittenhouse. Just ignore January 6th. Oh, just ignore every single mass shooter in this country. Excuse you, they were killing children. They weren't destroying property. And you know how we feel about children in this country. Okay? Pre-birth, we love you. Post-birth, go fuck yourself.
motivates individuals that commit political violence. There is more often an overlap between what the Democratic Party espouses ideologically and what we see in street-level violence, as well as maybe assassinations,
What
versus
is it?
what the Republicans would espouse.
I mean, I couldn't disagree more. What ideologies that the Democratic Party is promoting that leads to these types of violence? Anytime you see an act of violence that's typically attributed to the left, it is immediately condemned by every Democrat politician.
Indeed.
You couldn't point to one that actually endorses that. Or you
not
have somebody
arguing
like Donald Trump, who's literally the president of the United States, saying that we should call for the death of congressional members who are fulfilling their civic duty and saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't fulfill illegal orders if you're in the military, and Donald Trump's asking for them to be put to death. How is that not inciting to violence?
No, that's absolutely terrifying. I completely disagree with that. My point more so is that when you see, say, the George Floyd or the BLM riots, you end up with Biden and Kamala themselves promoting fundraisers for those accused of committing these crimes. During
Which
these riots,
which crimes could you point to?
So in Minnesota, you had there was a firefighter who opened a sports bar. It was burned down. In fact, when the local news went to interview him about his dream bar being burnt to the ground, it was ransacked. I don't think it was burned to the ground. They while they're filming the story, there were people looting a safe and stealing it.
Well, I think that there's absolutely a big difference.
You know, it's kind of sad because it's always the Tim Pool types that love to say that women use anecdotes instead of using data. And then they love to use anecdotes instead of using data. You know, like the meme of like, women will always respond to a data point or like a data set with a, well, I don't do that. Meanwhile, that's like a human thing that lots of human beings do. Like, oh yeah, well, what about this one instance where there was rioting and there was looting a safe? It's like, do you understand that one instance of something happening is not a data set, right? Huh? Stealing from a safe is political violence. He's not saying political violence. He's saying it's just violence. Now, I would argue that like stealing from a safe is not violence. Now, armed robbery, sure. If you're holding a gun as you take money from someone's safe, sure. I'm saying, you know, stealing or like, you know, robbing someone's safe or whatever is still a crime, but it's not violence. I'm sorry, I just disagree about the... I disagree that definition applies. I disagree that violence can have a definition that would apply here.
Between a lot of the private buildings or private enterprises that were targeted versus like public institutions like the police precinct. Like, you're somebody who I've seen the iconography on your show. You're a big patriotic guy. You love 1776, right? That wasn't the most peaceful way that we had, you know, criticizing our government or saying that tyranny shouldn't exist.
How long was the Revolutionary War going on before they signed the Declaration?
I will say that the...
Why is he repping this? Can I just say, okay, this is such a minor point.
1776, right? That wasn't the most peaceful way that we had, you know, criticizing our government or saying that tyranny shouldn't exist. How long was the revolution?
Can I say something? I will never understand the Tim Pools or even the Elon Musks of the world who have so much money and then choose to look like shit. Like, you know you're about to go on this show that's going to get millions of views, and you decided to bravely show up looking like a bloated fish with facial hair that makes you look like an egg. At least, like, shape your facial hair, man. I don't understand. Very highbrow to go after someone's drip. When did I say I was highbrow? Also, I guess I've never understood these people because they'll sit here for like hours at a time and I'll make nothing but salient points. And then the second that I criticize how someone looks, they're like, just noticed that you did that. It's like, yeah, I like to do both, bitch. Hello?
Revolutionary War
but I will
going
say,
on before they signed the Declaration.
I will say that the police precincts, the same people who committed a brutal murder using state violence in order to justify that, I think we can understand why people would rightfully be mad without any accountability.
Which political party is in control of the police department in Minneapolis?
That is not the central. First of all, we're talking about the mainstream political left. Which politicians are endorsing that type
Never
of
said
behavior?
politicians were endorsing it.
Then what's the mainstream left?
So you have activists whose ideology aligns with politicians who are
You'd
courting
say that those
votes.
activists identify with the Democratic Party, the
No,
ones that
I
are
would say
committing
that
violence.
the Democratic Party courts
Because let
their
me tell
vote.
you, the leftists that you could talk to, not the biggest fans of
Is
the Democratic
Democratic
Party.
in favor of Black Lives Matter?
I would say, yeah. I'd
Were
say
the
even
rioters
most
supporters
moderates.
of-
I'd say actual
Indeed.
moderates,
Absolutely.
not right-leaning conservatives who
Were-
claim to
were
be
the- were
moderates.
the riots
Usually
based
those
off
people
of-
also agree that police violence is something that should be
Were
discouraged.
the riots Black Lives Matter motivated?
They were motivated.
By Black Lives Matter. So that ideology is espoused by...
You mean is it 3 or 6%? I always forget. Who's not? Yeah. Do you guys remember what I just said 2 seconds ago about like anecdotes versus data? 93% of BLM protests have been peaceful, new report finds. And again, what's very important to note about this stat is that out of all of the protests, 93% of them had no violence. Not 93% of the time spent protesting was nonviolent. That if any of the protests had any rioters, which by the way, violence here can also mean, police beginning the instigation or police begin by instigating and pepper spraying, or that there are agitators there, which multiple agitators were recorded at these BLM protests. Like someone tries to like get people to flip a car, and then everyone says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Who the fuck is this guy?" And then he like runs away. So there are in some of the, it's impossible to know how many, but in some of the 7% of protests that became non-peaceful, some percentage of them also had agitators, also had police beginning the agitation and beginning to instigate with the protesters by pepper spraying them for no reason. And that's within the 7%. So there's also some percentage of the 7% that's like other people showing up that have nothing to do with the protest, that are using the protest as an opportunity to vandalize. And this happened in a lot of the cities that had BLM protests, where people who have, again, nothing to do with the protest showed up and were like, yo, Target's open. Get what you want. So it's a little even frustrating to even to try and pretend to take someone like Tim Pool seriously for even a second when even the least charitable definition shows that 93% of the protests were peaceful, which is just incredible. It's like, I wonder how they put it here. The report states that more than 2,400 locations reported peaceful protests, while fewer than 220 reported violent demonstrations. The authors define violent demonstration as including acts targeting other individuals, property, business, or rioting groups or armed actors. Their definition includes anything from fighting back against police to vandalism, property destruction, road blocking, using barricades, burning tires, or other materials. So out of the 2,400 that they looked at, 220 of them had some amount. It's possible some of these are like the road was blocked. It's possible that some of these were just vandalism, just people spray painting. And it's possible that some of these are exclusively fighting back against the police, aka, I don't know if you guys have seen some of those incredible videos where a cop will throw tear gas at an unarmed crowd, and then someone in the crowd grabs it and throws it back. So even if you give them the most charitable definition, it's still only 7% that had any amount of violence.
No,
So
the
my point is
Black
this.
Lives Matter is not encouraging violence.
I didn't
Black
say
Lives
they were.
Matter.
And for this chatter, just to remind you again, the reason why I make fun of how Tim Pool looks is because it's indicative of the type of person that he is. And because I can, because he's wrong about everything all of the time. And I know it's crazy, but you can do both. You can make fun of him for being an insecure beanie wearing fucking loser instead of full committing and being Northern Lion and just being brave and bold. And instead he's a fucking pussy ass bitch who needs to wear a beanie because he's so embarrassed about being bald. Which is just like L, negative aura. So we judge people based on how they look. Are you just fucking stupid or like what's up? Do you get dropped on your head too many times? Are you incapable of understanding full sentences? Because I made a full point and then you listened to half of it. Because I'm assuming you might be too fucking stupid to understand. Is that right? Did I get that right? Seems very mean and anti-American. You know, I guess if you think about it, it is unfortunately pro-American to be this fucking stupid. It is. And unfortunately, you can't be this stupid to chat in this chat. Any final words? Too slow.
Is recognizing systemic inequality.
Never said
where
they were telling people to go be violent. I'm saying that there are violent individuals, and with the riots, a lot of them, which we've seen.
Can you tell me
how
who
about this?
Tell me who Chris Ray is. Do you know who Chris Ray is?
Explain it to me.
Well, you have a show talking about politics every day. I would think that you know. But Chris Ray was the former.
Let's not do this. If you have a point to make, let's make a point.
Yes, sir.
Let's
Yes,
not try
sir.
and play
Yes,
these
sir.
games.
So Chris Ray was the former FBI director under Donald Trump's first term.
Yep.
He said that he even agreed with the findings from both the congressional research session that right-wing violence is way more proliferate in
But
this country
talking
than
about
left-wing
that.
violence.
That's not
That
meaningful
is.
to a voter. Let me explain. The Republican Party rejects neo-Nazism, correct?
No, Donald Trump invited Nick. Fuentes to have dinner with him, with Kanye West.
So tell me one politician who went out and campaigned for the neo-Nazi vote.
I'm blanking on his name, but Gozar in
Is that a
in
mainstream
Arizona.
view in this country?
Well, we could talk.
Oh, the goal posting is so sad. Oh yeah, well name one politician who did that. This guy. Well, you know what? Well, it's even mainstream though. It's like, oh yeah, well name two then. Hmm? Okay, fine. Name five. Well, you know what? Stop naming them. Stop.
About Gozar, we could talk about Matt Gaetz. We could talk about.
Matt Gaetz is not endorsing neo-Nazism, and Donald Trump
Are
said
you kidding me?
Nazis should be condemned entirely.
No, he is literally partnering with the America First movement. He was
America First
chosen
and neo-Nazism are totally different.
Bro, so you don't think do you think Nick Fuentes is a neo-Nazi? I forgot you've had him on your show. Oh my God, I literally forget.
I wouldn't describe
Oh my
Nick Fuentes as
God.
a neo-Nazi.
You don't.
Dude, Mason, stop. He's already dead. Dude, you're like, he's actually bodying him. Oh, no. Like, I knew that this was going to be the bodying of one beanie-headed freak, but, like, it's so brutal to watch.
I think that Nick Fuentes celebrating Adolf Hitler is not neo-Nazi adjacent.
I think you have to be very specific on what your terms are. And so when you go to an American voter and say,
No way, dude. Stop. Come on, dude. All right, stop.
something like...
This is our moderate, by the way, everybody. This is our moderate.
Indeed.
Keep going.
Indeed.
So when you go to a regular American...
Why does Tim Pool just say indeed? like it proves something. He'd just be like, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like what?
American and ask them what is
Bro, thought
meaningful
he
to them
could.
in terms of an election. You don't have Democrats or Republicans endorsing violence. But you also don't have, Charlie Kirk's a good example. He threw out Nick Fuentes, he threw out white identitarians, white nationalists from his events. They were not welcome. That's mainstream.
Well, I'm sorry. Does he think that like AOC is calling for the blood of the billionaires in this nation? I would say AOC is about as mainstream as a candidate as you can think of. That's been around for a while. That's been around through all of these like major events that I would say progressives associate with, that progressives believe would make a great presidential candidate. Did I miss the part where she said the blood will soak red with the billionaire and the landlord's blood? What?
You don't have riots coming from the Republican Party and the right, although you do have January 6th and things like that. When you take a look at...
As long as you ignore all of the right-wing violence, there is no right-wing violence. Amateur, thank you for the 23 months. Indubitably. Oh, dude, stop, man. Come on. This shit is not real. Counting or not counting January 6th? Can you believe that anyone still takes Tim Pool seriously after the 49 state landslide and then my sources tell me Charlie Kirk is stable, please God? Like, guys, who?
the shootings of the Tesla facilities, the execution of Aaron Danielson, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and one of the attempted assassinations on Donald Trump, not the Pennsylvania one, you can see the underlying ideologies overlap with the Democratic Party. When you take a look at like Nick Fuentes, he's opposed to the Republican Party. He's been actively endorsing Democrats right now.
He's been saying that the Republican Party is too left for him. It's not that he's opposed to the Republican Party in principle.
This is literally my point.
No,
Nick Fuentes comes out and says, do not vote for Trump. The mainstream Republican Party is at odds with these people.
No, again, if you're looking at all of the empirical data, the violence is way more on the right.
But
so
that's not
you
the
can say
claim.
what your feelings are. You
That's
can
not
say
my
that.
feeling nor the claim.
No,
it is not meaningful to a voter to say we don't like neo-Nazis and white supremacists because the
It's
Republican
meaningful
Party
to say,
is not saying
it's
they want a
meaningful to
white
say,
America.
let's be objective of where the violence is coming from, and if it's more substantially coming from the right, that is a problem that needs to be tackled.
It's not coming from.
No, I would say it's pretty meaningful. I mean, the only requirement for candidates on the left is saying, I am anti-genocide and I am anti-funding military aid to Israel, unconditional military aid to Israel. And that statement is too much. So actually the statements are meaningful when they're directly tied to whether or not that candidate will be able to get funding from something like from a PAC like AIPAC. Also, guys, Big Boys Analyst, thank you for the 25 months. Lance, thank you so much for the 50 months. Great Twin, thank you for the 14 months. That's right, guys. The rarest ever treasure train is here. I haven't seen a treasure train in literally a month, okay? So if you're happy that I'm here, even though I'm sick, even though I am internally dying and my brain is mush, and I'm here anyways, specifically to enjoy this Jubilee with you guys, you could throw over a Prime. You could throw over a Tier 1, a Tier 2, a Tier 3. Or even better, you could gift some subs right now during the treasure train when 5 or more gift subs are 35% off.
The mullet rolls are gone, people.
Maple Takes, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Contraband, thank you for the 20 gift subs. Thank you so much. Naomi, thank you so much for the gift sub. Don, thank you for the Prime. Thank you so much for the Tier 1. House of Rice, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Oi, thank you so much for the 5. Kev Nice, thank you for the 5. Sun, thank you so much for the 5. Also a great opportunity to Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Prime, or gift some subs because I brought back DNM Shake. That's right. Oh, yes. Surgeon, thank you for the 5. Arugula, thank you for the 5. Ganinator, thank you so much for the 5. Mao, thank you so much for the 5. Hugh, thank you for the 5. Gorlork, thank you so much for the 5. Jess, thank you for the Tier 1. Inhuman Anthropod, thank you for the 5. Shank, thank you for the 5. Rhetoric, thank you for the 38 months. Oh my god, thank you. Skill Cylinder, thank you so much for the 5. Topper Whooper, thank you so much for the 5. Oh my god, Gurumi? Oh my. Thank you so much. What the hell for the, was that 20? Thank you for the 20 bomb. No, 50 bomb. Holy shit. Thank you. Thank you so much. What the hell? Thank you. I really appreciate it. Fruit Tolerant, thank you for the 35 months. Idiot, thank you for the gift sub. Thanks, guys.
They should be kissing Denims' feet.
And I'll tell you guys what. Oh, wow. Do you have something you want to say, Wormy? Tell the people. So tell them how you feel. Tell them how you feel, Wormy. I guess those were all of her opinions. I guess she said everything she felt. Oh, also, I forgot to tell you guys, but Mayor Cat is back from the vet. I'm still waiting on blood work, but I think he's fine. I think it was just a random jump scare. But Overthrow, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Naomi, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Overthrow, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Hella, thank you for the gift sub. Marseille, thank you so much for the 10 months. Swifty, thank you for the 7 months. Dennis Aria, thank you so much for the 18 months. Vlad, thank you for the 5 months. Fruit Tolerant again, thank you for the 35. Just Pterosaurus Rex, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Miss Pac-Man, thank you for the 3 months. What was I trying to say? Ballot, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. If we get to a treasure train level 20, I'll even bring Mayor Cat on stream. You guys can all say hello. Say hi. All right. Listen, he has to earn his vet pill somehow, okay? He has to earn it somehow. All right. Have you seen the new New York City mayor office video? No, with the one of him speaking, and wasn't he speaking like Mandarin or something? No, I haven't. I saw it, but I haven't seen it. You should get HASAN barking as an alert. That would be pretty funny. I should do that, actually. Frozen Lemon, thank you so much for the 5 gifts up. Anon, thank you for the gifts up. Gary, thank you so much for the 5 gifts up. Fine and Andy, thank you for the 10 gifties. 8 Jam, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Magnet Stove, thank you guys for the 7 and 12. Thank you. Chinese Summer, wait, was that real?
Denims' feet.
Oh, I don't know. Was it? He has great pronunciation. I thought it was real.
They should be kissing Denims'
我不知
feet.
你好，我的名字是 Mayor Zoran Mamdani。我不知道中文，可是我想试一下。纽约市政府将免费送出2000多张百老汇演出门票，请于8月17日之前访问以下网站，了解如何参加抽签。您还可以免费获得 The Theater Development Fund， 为期2个月的会员资格，享受百老。
Okay, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like, Mandarin is like, it's a, and Cantonese, they're like tonal languages. So it's all about hitting that tone. And like, it'll be like the same type of, or the same like letters. This is not at all, this is like a very poor explanation, to be clear. This is just how it was explained to me by somebody else. That if you mispronounce the tone, it's like a completely different word.
They should be kissing Denims' feet.
It means something completely different. So I wish I could like, yeah, the she meme. Where it means the same. All of them mean totally different things. Yeah. I asked a Chinese friend of mine and they say he's tonally pretty accurate, but it sounds like he has something in his mouth. All right, well, listen. To be quite honest with you guys,
they should be kissing Denims'
I don't know why
feet.
I said that initially, but to be more accurate, let me just say what I'm trying to say. Phonetics are really hard to learn as an adult. Languages are easy to learn as an adult, but like phonetics are really difficult. Like getting your tongue to move in the right way and like getting your like throat to move in the right way to make the right sound is really hard to learn as an adult. So the fact that he's hitting it at all is kind of insane. That he tried and he dedicated himself is so, I don't know, man. That's dope as fuck. He does have something in his mouth and it's an American tongue, dude. As a white American learning Arabic, I know this pain. Well, yeah, trying to learn like or like or ch or ain, like those are hard to learn.
The mongrels are gone, people.
If you didn't learn them when you were younger, right? You have to learn them. Like phonetics are just there. It's not impossible, but phonetics are just hard to learn when you're older because your tongue is so used to sitting in a certain
They
way
should be kissing Denims' feet.
and your throat is so used to moving in a certain way that like it's like trying to write with your left hand. It's not that you can't learn how to write with your left hand, it's that you're just so much better at it with your right hand that trying to do it with your left hand is hard.
I'm gonna fuck him.
L's and R's, yeah, like rolling your R's is another good example. Why are we kissing Denims' feet so much today? Because I am streaming despite my sickness, okay? Big Boy Xanos, thank you so much for the 20 gift subs. Axel, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Mr. Saturn, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Boyger, thank you so much for the 5. Stone, thank you for the gift sub. Fine. And Andy, thank you for the 10. Gary Livingston, thank you for the 5. Guys, we're only 4 levels away from one particular mayor showing up. Rude, I'm left-handed. Left-handed people when no one's looking. Mr. F, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Thank you.
会演出的折扣，演出现场见。
God
你好。
damn. Ni hao. Dude. I just know. This is what I like about Mamdani. He takes everything that makes conservatives mad and he doubles down on them and says, oh, you're going to call me a Chinese Islamist, Sharia law communist? Okay. Okay. Sure. Then that's what I'll be.
Song's hot.
All right, bet. Calm like a Tom. Thank you so much for the 20 gift subs. Thank you. People don't realize how hard it is to learn Mandarin, to go from Mandarin to English because Mandarin doesn't really do past tenses. That's why it sounds like broken English. I go to store last night is functionally correct because in Mandarin there's no distinction between I am going to the store and I went to the store. Well, yeah, English has like a bunch of extra words. Like the meme, why say many word
My
when
lawyer can't do fucking shit.
few word do trick is actually unironically true for a lot of languages. When you compare English to a lot, not most other languages, but a lot of other languages, there's so many more fucking words for no reason. It's just, come on, dude. Question mark, question mark, question mark? What do you mean? Full of filler words?
They should be kissing Denims' feet.
Nuance is useful? No, but it's not nuance, right? Having a lot of different words that mean slightly different things is not what I'm talking about. I'm saying like, I am going to the store.
My lawyer can't do fucking shit.
Do we really need that many words to describe that? Other languages can describe that with way less syllables. With way less words. I'm not talking about the distinction between sadness and melancholy. I think having lots of words is the problem. Or sorry, is fine. And in fact, it's beneficial. Going store. I store going. English is a psyop for big printer ink. Fuck. Anyone who thinks this take is bad only speaks English? Yeah. It's true. So you don't like English grammar? No one should like English grammar. The only thing that's good about English, compared to some of the languages it's based on, is the fact that English doesn't have, like, gendered words. You don't have to learn what gender an object is. Do you speak Arabic? A little bit. Poorly. Low-key, I'm kind of like...
They should be kissing Denims' feet.
All right, dude, chill. I'm super biased against gendering of words in languages because I can't believe my family let me speak Arabic for the longest time, and I've been misgendering every word, and I make every word, apparently, feminine. I've been feminizing every word in Arabic for the longest time, and I forget who told me. Someone was like, why do you feminize all the words? I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, all of them are like most of them are feminized. I'm like, what? Wait, Why did no one correct me? What? What the hell? I've been transing the language the whole time. So that's what I mean when I say I be force femming. Or sorry, that's what I mean when I say I hate gendered language. But moving on. Okay, enough of this.
Charlie Kirk.
Oh my God, it's
Okay,
so hot.
we're not talking about Charlie Kirk. We're talking about the overall ideologies.
In fact, we're not.
So you're telling
That's
me
not my claim.
You're telling me that the prioritization of hierarchies, both ethnic, both
Wait,
cultural.
my earbud died. Okay, we're good.
That is not a dangerous ideology, but
never said
something like
that.
BLM that says, hey, maybe we should take back police violence. Maybe we should have accountability for people who are in charge of certain aspects of our nation, committing violence on citizens. Those are absolutely completely different ideologies. And the fact that you're saying it is more motivating for violence, that the left wing is encouraging people to take those that are committing violence accountable.
In the
that
last 10
absolutely
years,
is not more.
there have been over 465 incidents of left-motivated political violence that aligns with the Democratic Party, and there's been one on the Republican side, which is January 6th, which admittedly is particularly...
No credible standardized data set substantiates over 465 incidents of Democratic-aligned or mainstream left political violence in the past decade. In reference to this claim, party leadership repudiation cannot consistently be used to exclude right-wing violence while attributing all left-coded violence to Democrats.
particularly egregious. January 6th was, that's why we talk about blunt versus acute. Now, the problem is, I already know what all you're going to say. You're going to cite FBI stats and Cato, but it's not meaningful to me or any voter to tell me why white supremacists are violent, because I don't like white supremacists, nor will I vote for them. And more importantly, you bring up Nick Fuentes. He is not aligned with Republicans, and he's advocated against them.
I think for somebody who has,
don't like them.
I think for somebody who has a political show where you talk about this stuff every day, you are completely misreading the conversation when you're saying that those that are engaged in like civil disobedience are like Democrat voters. You're telling me that those people are canvassing for Democratic politicians,
Never said that.
which is
I'm
absolutely
actually,
not true.
Absolutely in favor of canvassing. I'm in favor of protesting.
I'm not saying that you're. I'm not saying that you're against that.
So
but I'm saying
don't try and frame my argument like I'm
calling,
upset with protests, because I've defended Black Lives Matter blocking streets. I've defended left-aligned progressive groups like anti-capitalist groups blocking streets and environmental groups. I stand with civil disobedience, and I've defended them every single time. If you want to block a road, there's
what is it that you're saying is more violent on the left? You mentioned Black Lives Matter. You mentioned these
Let's
protests.
talk about the Tesla facilities being unloaded upon or shot up, right? These are motivated by an ideology that you will hear from Elizabeth Warren. Now, of course, she's not telling people to shoot anybody.
I never thought I would agree with Ethan Klein, but yeah, the marbles are fucking gone, people.
But she is coming out saying Elon Musk is a dangerous threat to this country. And then you end up with someone going and pulling a rifle up and shooting up a Tesla.
When you understand that the right always says politicians are not responsible for individual actions. Elizabeth Warren saying, hey, maybe we should have the same sort of economic policies they have in Scandinavia.
Why was
that is not her encouraging, go shoot up a Tesla facility.
Why was
Where Donald Trump saying, let's hang the people who encouraged those in the military to actually fulfill their duties. That is completely...
My claim is not that the right is completely
innocent.
innocent.
He's the leader of the Republican Party, my dude. To say that these are equivocable at all is completely
false.
false.
I condemn 100% what Donald Trump said, calling for the death of those politicians.
We have to move on.
Great to meet you, Tam.
Likewise.
Loki, I like the new host more.
If you'd like to be the next debater, get to the chair.
Oh, thanks, Mind. I can't.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Hi.
What I find really interesting is the whole premise of like the Occupy Wall Street movement was to protest, right?
Indeed.
It was specifically geared towards...
Stop hitting the indeed, dude. Stop.
It's making sure that the general public was understanding the situation at the time, which had a lot to do with anti-capitalist motives, right? And so when we're talking about who's more violent than who, we have to be very specific that the violence that is recorded in the data is not ideological violence. It's not this like rhetoric. It has to be evidentiary. So if you're going to say like, oh, Black Lives Matter, and any leftists that are associated with that are automatically violent, that's just not the case.
I didn't say that.
But that's what you're implying.
No, I'm implying that when you have riots in this country, overwhelmingly, the underlying ideology aligns with the mainstream left ideology of this country.
But the problem is like, sorry, there's a couple of problems that I have with his I guess, any of his points. First, besides the fact that he's literally wrong, he says he's for civil disobedience against a tyrannical state. That's his entire reasoning behind being pro Second Amendment. But he also doesn't judge the issues that leftists fight for or progressives fight for individually, and instead uses them as an opportunity to say, you guys are more violent. So which is it? Are you pro, so you're pro civil disobedience, but also left-wing violence is so bad and you hate it and it's bad. Okay.
Country.
He still, by the way, hasn't defined mainstream left ideology. Yeah, correct. His mainstream left ideology definition so far has been Antifa and BLM.
You're saying in your prompt that you wrote is that the left is more violent than the right.
The mainstream political left.
And then also, this was like, sorry, we kind of skipped over it. 11 minutes, 22 seconds. This was like insane to me. He said like, don't quote the FBI stats at me. That doesn't matter for like random voters. It's like, so you're saying you feel like the vibe is that the left commits more violence. Huh? Where is it? It was like right here. Maybe I'll just find it'll be easier to find in the transcript. No, not asking Gemini questions. The transcript button used to be like right here, and they made it so impossible to find for some bizarre reason. Here we go.
All you're going to say, you're going to cite FBI stats and Cato, but it's not meaningful to me or any voter to tell me why white supremacists are violent, because I don't like white supremacists, nor will I vote.
Couldn't you use the exact same logic? Your premise is not, okay, like, your premise is not the left commits more violence than the right, so long as you ignore the people on the right that I don't consider to be on the right because they're too far right. If his position is, fine, you have to compare mainstream right to mainstream left, which I guess like mainstream there would be like Democrats in office versus Republicans in office. It's not close that it's obviously way more Republicans. When's the last time a Democrat has said, as championed any type of civil disobedience? Ever. This fact check is funny. CSIS explicitly warns that its categories of left-wing and right-wing terrorism do not correspond to the Democratic and Republican parties or to the overwhelming majority of liberals and conservatives. It's like, don't cite any stats at me, but also my position is meaningless because the mainstream left is whatever I want it to be and the mainstream right is whatever I want it to be.
In your prompt that you wrote is that the left is more violent than the right.
The mainstream political left commits more violence than the mainstream political right.
Right, the mainstream. And
Indeed.
what I'm trying to tell you is that the data is not showing that that is the actual evidence. If
It
you're
does,
talking,
actually.
no, it doesn't.
It does. My team has put together over 10 years
75 to
465 instances.
80% of violence, actual violence, that is being tracked as domestic terrorism comes from the right. It's white supremacist groups.
And white supremacists.
75 to 80% figure is broadly supported for fatalities from U.S. domestic terrorism since 2001, not for all incidents or violence tracked as domestic terrorism. Research reviews find that find that right-wing extremists are responsible for roughly 70 to 80% of domestic terrorism deaths.
Are not in a large political party getting voted for.
Yes, they are. The
They're
Republican Party is very largely right-wing. It is very far right.
But they're not white supremacists, nor
Yes,
nor are
they
the
are.
Americans voting for a Republican Party because they want
What do you
white
think
supremacy.
"Make America Great Again" means?
I think it means making the economy improve. I think it means building our cultural institutions. Well,
According to what time? According to what time? I'll give you that.
Probably the 80s, because Trump's an old man.
I
would say the 90s.
Seriously doubt he
90s
meant
were
the
great.
80s. He's much older than the 80s.
Well, your interpretation of Donald Trump's opinions is separate from when we see a riot, what is motivating the riot? When we
His
see
opinions
an
lead his
assassination.
policies, don't they?
Indeed, and
Wouldn't you
nobody,
say
no
that's
one,
what
no one
politics
here is
is all
making the
about?
claim that Donald Trump is
Indeed.
innocent, nor does he not have individuals who would
But you're
engage in
attempting
violence
to
based
make
on
a
similar
claim
ideologies.
that his type of ideology that leads his policy is not nearly as violent as the left,
Well, how
which
many
is
riots have there been from the right?
largely anti-capitalist, which is largely anti-fascist. None of what you're saying makes any sense. It sounds like
It
you're
does.
honestly grifting a lot.
How many Republican riots have there been?
I don't know the
Is it
exact
one?
number.
Maybe one in
But what are
January
you
6th, which is a
classifying as a
bad one.
riot? What? Because if you're
Let's say-
conflating
let's say-
protesting with rioting,
I don't know. It depends. Are you putting in the Proud Boys in right wing? Oh, not those guys because they're too far right wing to be included. But Antifa is not too far left wing to be included into mainstream left. Like, come on, man. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it be that the Proud Boys, the Christo-fascists, the Nazis, the Charlottesville people, those people are all way too right wing to be considered mainstream right. But Antifa and BLM and whatever else is clearly the Democratic Party position. It's like, no, the Democratic Party position, as stated by both Tim Walz and the governor, like blanking on his name, whatever his name is, explicitly said, do not engage in any violence. Do not engage in any violence. Please be peaceful the entire time. Do not engage in any violence.
that's a very different thing.
No, we're talking specifically about people ransacking Tesla facilities, vehicles, charging
You're
stations.
so obsessed with the Tesla thing. Why don't we actually talk about?
I think it might be because
I
someone
don't know
took a
if Musk
rifle
is-
and started shooting
I
up a
don't know if
building.
Musk is like investing in your company or something, but let's like remove the Tesla out of it. That has nothing to do with what your actual prompt is saying.
no, that's
It
actually what my
sounds-
claim is.
No, it sounds a lot like
Well, then you're arguing
you
something else.
decided, No, you're arguing something else because it
I am
sounds
arguing
like you
something
went
else
from
from you.
somebody who was doing really important work in Occupy Wall Street to then
Which was what?
grifting all the way to defending.
Why is it that he assumes that all of the anti-Tesla people, that every single person who was anti-Tesla must have been a hardcore, no, not even a hardcore left-winger, must have been on the left?
The
far
important
right
work.
people? That's crazy.
What was the important work?
What important work?
You said I was doing
in terms of Occupy Wall Street?
Yes.
I think, you know, in terms of that movement, I thought it was it was one of the first times in our generation that we were able to see an actual organization against capitalism.
Can I ask you how old you are?
I know plenty of conservatives that hate Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not a likable guy. Is it true that the only people that like Elon Musk are on the right? At this point, yes. But the idea that the only people that would dislike Elon are on the left is just nonsensical.
No, you cannot ask me how
Were
old
you
I am.
politically active during Occupy Wall Street?
Yes, I was.
Did you follow the news about me during Occupy Wall Street?
Not specifically.
And the news was that Occupy denounced the violence. I had filmed leftists deflating police tires who physically attacked me. And I was attacked by a masked individual smacking my camera out of his hand. Occupy
so this is a
Wall
personal
Street.
vendetta for you
Then
because
gave
a
me-
single
indeed-
person.
The people laughing in the background.
If
or
you're,
a
if you're
small
getting
group of
emotional about
people.
this and you don't want to have an argument,
I'm not
that's
gonna-
fine.
Do I look emotional, guys?
You do
I feel pretty
because
relaxed.
you don't know what happened during Occupy and your argument is off because you don't.
This honestly sounds like you
Okay,
have
pause,
a personal vendetta
pause.
from your history.
He's going syndrome status. He's saying his full story.
Not an
that
argument.
has
Here.
absolutely nothing with what your
Not an
actual
argument.
prompt
You have to
is, which
pause
is
it here.
Not an
around
argument.
You have
far-right
to
people
pause.
being much more violent than the
argument.
left.
We have to pause. Love the passion, but pause. All right. If you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
You got it. Nice to meet you. How's it going?
Good. I think we should just get to the heart of it. Donald Trump is a fascist. He has Nazis in his administration. His entire messaging was resonating with Nazis from the very beginning. Donald Trump, when rallying for 2024, had a massive rally in Madison Square Garden. What was the significance of that rally?
You tell me.
Yeah, it's the same place, same date as the Nazis in the 1940s. Literally. Donald Trump said that immigrants are poisoning the blood of America and their environment. Who also said that?
You tell me.
Hitler. Literally. Donald Trump has openly said things as dog whistles. So you may say that it's not mainstream, but the entire ideology of the right speaks to those people.
Let me ask you what.
I mean, to pretend like the right does not support or scout the Christo-fascist vote is such horseshit. No, Ron DeSantis just it was wait, no, I don't think it was Ron DeSantis. It was someone else in Florida. Maybe it was Ron. No, I don't think it was. Where is it? It was like it was a Florida politician that said something like we'll make sure that the trains run on time or something like that. Why can't I find this? It was a fishback? Like, to pretend like the only way that right-wingers appeal to Christo-fascists is by explicitly saying, I am a Nazi and I want Nazis to vote for me, is just ignore the entirety of dog whistles. Dog whistles aren't real.
It's James Fishback, and I'm running for Florida governor. I'm here in Shipley in the Panhandle on tracks that used to carry Amtrak's Sunset Limited. It allowed families to get a train right here in rural parts of the Florida Panhandle and take it all the way down to Disney for Christmas or Miami for New Year's. Sadly, that train got canceled. It became the latest sign that politicians in Tallahassee, Democrat and sadly Republican, don't care about what happens here in the Florida Panhandle. I'm running for Florida governor because I recognize that Florida is more than just Naples, Orlando, and Miami, that we have to look out for the dignity of our neighbors in the Panhandle, and I'll do that by making a generational investment in our public schools, creating 10,000 great-paying jobs for locals, and also bringing back the Amtrak.
And the title of his video is, I'm running for Florida governor to make the trains run on time. Good enough. Welcome back, Mussolini. No, for sure, dude. They're definitely not referencing anything to appeal to Nazis. They're definitely not saying anything to appeal to fascists. They are definitely not saying anything to appeal to the Proud Boys. Nope.
What do you mean by fascist?
Far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalistic, 14 tenets of fascism, all that.
But there's a specific definition of fascist. Do you just mean that he's an authoritarian?
No, I mean that he meets all 14 tenets of fascism.
Which is what?
You want to go through all 14 points?
I don't. I'm trying to understand your argument. But so my point largely is we see people say Trump is a fascist.
Can you imagine hitting the direct definition and then hearing someone say, well, that's one definition of fascism, but
there's, if you go to an academic and you look at fascism, say Italy, there's a common argument that you have the merger of corporation and state as the defining element of what fascism is.
There's different forms of fascism, right?
Well, and that's the point. That's
The
why
actual premise is the authoritarian. Donald Trump is absolutely a fascist. He's, like I said, he has Nazis in his administration. I think we're shifting. Pete Hegseth.
How is Hegseth
He literally has a proud Nazi tattoo on his chest.
He does not.
Stephen Miller is absolutely a Nazi.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, he's kind of cooking him, dude. Hegseth defends tattoos.
Stop right there. You're not qualified, Mr. Hegseth.
The hearing also violent. Take it by force, the Christian movement that is threatening our democracy.
In both of these symbols, there's an invocation or at least a reference to the Crusades. Now, the Jerusalem cross, that gets used all over the place. The Deus Vult tattoo tends to signal more far-right extremism. I do not know of any mainstream Christian groups or leaders who have embraced that in the modern world.
A U.S. military official told our Courtney Kuby in November that those tattoos prevented Hegseth from being on the D.C. National Guard security detail for President Biden's 2021 inauguration out of an abundance.
I'm just going to say, The only people that get those type of tattoos are Nazis, are fascists. You don't accidentally get either of those tattoos or the combination of those tattoos as like just like a random, random guy that loves thy neighbor. You only get those tattoos if you're a fucking white nationalist, dude. Like, to be Tim Pool is such a sad existence. Like, you have to watch this entity walk like a duck, quack like a duck, and then say, no, that is not a duck. It's even worth noting that Hegseth was barred from performing some duties in the military because of his tattoo. Not even Plattner was barred from them for his tattoo. Fantasizes about killing the entire Muslim world in a modern-day crusade. Can't even do one correct pull-up.
Hegseth does not have a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
Yeah.
No,
The-
he does
the
not. He
cross
has
on
a
his chest?
Catholic cross on his chest.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I mean, guys, look, I went to Catholic school when I was little. I left in fifth
Sure.
grade.
So-
Pete Hegseth is not a Nazi.
Yeah, okay, cool. Question for you. When Donald Trump and his administration specifically actually implement
Catholic cross, by the way.
policies that go at the heart of what Nazis want,
Which
right?
is?
Targeting.
Which is what?
The first group of people they target was the transgender community. Same things in Nazi. The actual Nazis specifically targeted people that weren't like them. There's been a persistent and consistent attack on undocumented immigrants, black people, women, anyone that's not a straight white male in America.
My principal claim is not that Donald Trump is innocent, nor perfect, nor good. My claim is that when you look at street-level violence, domestic terror, etc., you'll find more violence coming.
Yeah, but the response is the purpose in talking about how the cabinet members and the appointed members of Trump's presidency or whatever, the reason to bring up those people and their affiliations is to say that it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. It's a duck, dude. As long as you agree with the premise that like white nationalists and Nazis will inevitably, inherently push for violence, as long as we agree on the basic reality of the world, the rest is self-evident.
Coming from the mainstream left as opposed to the mainstream right.
Sure.
I do think it's fair to point out white supremacists are violent. They do evil and horrible things.
Yeah, I wanted to get to
Yeah, okay, so if you agree that white supremacists are inherently violent, I think it's pretty weak sauce to say, no, these people that are secret Nazis, they're not. No.
We all condemn them.
The white supremacists are a part of the mainstream right.
But they're not.
They literally are.
There's no circumstance
All right,
where
we're
you
gonna
can go
pause
on
here.
TV.
Thank you. You can return to your seat. You've been voted out.
Nice meeting you.
All right, if you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
How's it going,
That was an easy grab. You're right there.
So the first thing I'll say is I think it's a bit disingenuous to characterize all of the property damage committed during BLM as left-wing violence, because there are going to be rogue opportunists during the biggest civil rights protests in American history. That's first and foremost. The second thing I would like to say is I don't think it makes sense to confine political violence strictly in the context of individuals acting with political motive violently. I think it ignores institutional violence. Theoretically, you could say the 1960s civil rights movement was more violent than the counter-protesters, but obviously the institutional violence of segregation.
I completely agree.
Right. So, so what I would say is that the Republican Party is, and the mainstream political right is far more violent because they support ICE ripping and separating families from one another, even from people who have no criminal background. ICE deaths under ICE custody have skyrocketed, even as a matter of
absolutely.
war abroad, etc. But
Domestic. I'd love to talk the war stuff. I'm a big foreign policy guy. But domestically, did this not happen during Barack Obama's administration?
It did, but not to the same extent.
Agreed.
Also, who cares, huh? Is this not a topic talking about the mainstream left committing more violence than the mainstream right today?
And Barack Obama was criticized for it by who? The political left.
Agreed.
Right.
So my point is not to say again that there's no violence on the right, and I think the institutional argument is actually a good one. However, my view largely is when you look at Occupy Wall Street, for which I was there and I watched police instigate fights, or when I was,
this guy in the green in the back is dying. Look at him.
when you look at Occupy Wall Street, for which I was there and I watched police instigate fights, or when I was on the ground during the protests on West Florissant Avenue, and I saw police throw a flashbang grenade at protesters who were not doing anything violent. The issue is these police are under Democrat administration still, where they're
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
chiefs are often appointed by Democrat politicians. So again, I understand the left and progressives.
That to me is also a little disingenuous because
true.
How do you even argue against that point? I'm really like, guys, the sickness is starting to hit me again because I've been sitting up for too long. So my body's like, you need to lay down. But like, how do you even argue against something so disingenuous? Well, the police are actually left wing because there are democratic cities. It's like, you're fucking with me, right? Like you're not actually trying to, like you're just fucking with me, right? There's no way you're trying to sit here and tell me the police are woke. And if this was a right-wing city, they wouldn't have tear gassed you. That's what you're trying to tell me, right? That's not what you're trying to tell me, right? Like it's so far from reality. I have no words. I have no words.
It's not as though the police, as a matter of its institution, is a left-wing institution.
No, it's
in fact, usually the police are protecting and are on the other side of left-wing protesters.
If you want to make the argument that ICE under Trump, I'll make the argument of police under the Democrats.
Sir, well, I don't know. Well,
which is it? Does law enforcement defer to their politicians or not?
It depends. Because ICE is an executive agency, they do.
And the police
operate
department in Minneapolis is under the Democrats, yes.
Right,
and we all agree that there's problems there.
But they're criticized and often on the other end of left-wing protesters. So, for instance, the protests against ICE here in Los Angeles, it's usually against left-wing. So, what is it? Left-on-left violence? Is that what you're claiming?
Sometimes, yes, absolutely.
You think police protesting against or committing violence against left-wing protesters? It's left-on-left violence, really?
Yes.
I think that's
Left-wing violence is out of control. All the left-on-left violence. Who believes this? I bet you any cop that was watching this would be like, hey, don't call me no damn liberal. I ain't no damn liberal, damn you, Tim Pool. You just lost a subscriber. I used to like your show before you called me a leftist. I don't appreciate that.
Ridiculous and absurd.
The police who live in these cities tend to be more moderate, but they're not hard conservatives.
But is the institution is policing as an institution
particularly
a left-wing institution?
In New York, well, I would define a left-wing institution.
Exactly.
What I would say is Democrat politicians are the ones appointing these police chiefs and these administrations who are enacting these policies.
But are they?
So when you're voting for someone into office, this is not conservatives doing it. It's not mainstream right-wingers putting in police that beat protesters.
But who politically supports the police as a matter of their rhetoric and ideology? The right or the left?
Right. But the right doesn't live in these places.
Yeah, but
nor do they appoint these people.
Sure, but
don't tell me that ICE under Donald Trump, but not police under Democratic politicians.
Hold on. The left doesn't.
Denims, no cops are watching this. They're too busy beating their wives. Okay, just because it's true doesn't mean you should say it.
Also doesn't appoint protesters who commit random acts of violence against property.
That's not my argument.
I know, but earlier you were making the case that it's the ideology that motivates what these rioters are doing, and that's the reason why the left is ultimately responsible.
What I would say is the underlying ideology is overlapping with the Democratic Party.
Sure, and so what I'm saying is that if you want to be consistent, the underlying ideology that supports the police and as a matter of institution, and when the police are cracking down on left-wing protesters, that's overwhelmingly on the side of conservatives.
Except they're not in power in these places, and you're applying a locality to the nation, which doesn't make sense.
They may not be like technically
The police
empowered,
are not
but, like,
motivated
I
by
don't
the
know- I don't
Republican Party to
understand,
go out under a Democratic mayor to arrest
No, dude, stop. Stop.
The problem is that the police is still, as a matter of institution, is more of a right-wing institution than a left.
Certainly, even
Police forces lean Republican, but partisan politics don't greatly influence officers' actions. Despite the political imbalance, research found very little evidence that Republican and Democratic officers behave differently in similar on-the-job situations. It's almost like they're cops first. While political affiliation appears to have limited impact on an officer's behavior, the study reaffirmed previous findings that race and ethnicity are significant factors influencing how officers conduct their duties. The question of how political beliefs might shape policing has become increasingly important. Surveys consistently show Republicans express much higher levels of trust in the police, are less likely to believe that police treat different groups unfairly. Shocking. In fact, political party identification is a stronger predicator of someone's views on policing than even their race or general political ideology. That's talking about how voters feel, or like Americans feel about cops, I believe. So not only are police generally, they tend to be more conservative than the people around them in the cities that they're in. Shocking. But also, their political alignment is not relevant because they still act like fucking cops. All right. Trying to even pretend for a moment that the cops are left wing is just like so incredibly stupid. I just don't have any fucking words.
And
even
they're
in
usually
Democratic
on the other
cities.
side of.
But the point is,
of
a
left-wing
police officer who
protesters.
goes out in New York and arrests a protester does so at the behest of a Democratic politician.
I don't.
Pause.
Here, check this out. Study's initial findings confirm that on average, police forces are more Republican than the general population in their jurisdiction. Across the 99 agencies studied, about 32% of officers were estimated to be Republican, compared to only 14% of voting-age civilians in those same areas. Isn't that shocking? Not what I meant to click on.
It's true.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please
Nice
return
meeting
to
you.
your seat. All right, if you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, young man? Listen.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been young for a minute.
Now, slow down with that. Listen,
all
I
right.
think it's really quick. The I condemn is a really cheap cop-out. That's not going to work.
It's not an argument.
Because the people around us are not low IQ, like your average viewer. It's important to recognize.
Did he just say it's not an argument? Did he just say that's not an argument? He didn't even finish his point. What?
Make an argument.
So I'm about to.
You don't
he's working on it, bitch. Like, calm down. Hello?
have one. Is that it? If you want to be insults, we can go for insults and
I'm about to.
We can rap.
I'm about to.
That's not an insult. He's saying that say. Oh my God. Sorry. Let me let you guys watch the play-by-play again.
What's up, young man? Listen.
Oh yeah. I haven't been young for a minute.
Now, slow down with that. Listen.
Oh,
I
all
think
right.
Sorry, I just noticed that he went in for the handshake. I didn't even notice that because I was reading chat and I was only listening. That's so funny. He's so butthurt that he didn't want to shake his fucking nasty beanie hand.
It's really quick. The I condemn is a really cheap cop-out. That's not going to work.
It's not an argument.
Because the people around.
He's working on him being like, it's not an argument. Excuse me, indeed. It's not an argument. It's actually not an argument. He didn't make his argument yet. He said, don't sit here and tell me I condemn, because that doesn't work when you have people that can actually like fact check and do full play-by-plays.
Us are not low IQ, like your average viewer. It's important to recognize.
Average viewer is funny.
An argument?
So I'm about to.
You don't have one? Is that it? If you
Oh my God, he's so hurt. You don't have an argument like that. Oh, you want to shake my hand? It's probably because you don't have an argument.
What, you want to be insults? We can go for insults and
He didn't insult you. He said, don't sit here and tell me I condemn, because saying I condemn is cheap and it's not valuable. That's not insulting him. Insulting him would be calling him, it's not good either.
We could rap.
I'm about to.
You want to rap?
We could rap. Dude, stop. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see that.
My time. So it's important to recognize that simply I condemn is not sufficient when the Republican Party has created a permission structure for individuals to go out and do violence against, I'm about to tell you, with impunity. Immigration and Customs.
This guy's already talking really fast, so him interrupting him to pretend like he's owning him or something is so cringy. He's saying Republicans saying I condemn is not useful when they've created the permission structure to conduct this. Oh yeah, like what? Well, that was my next sentence. Wow. The square goes in the square hole.
Enforcement is a good example.
Law enforcement.
The Trump administration, they
Through an
violated,
electoral process.
you know they've lost in the courts 10,000 times, right?
That's not true.
It is true. Politico actually released a report on it. Yeah,
The most current published count is at least 16,850 rulings against the Trump administration's ICE mandatory detention policy out of at least 19,400 federal district court rulings from July 7th, 2025 to August 4th, 2026. The Trump administration has really taken my advice, and they're like, can't end on a loss. Can't end on a loss. Let's go. Let's just see the champs. Can't end on a loss. Let's go.
Lost 10,000
I'm
times
sure it
in
would
the
be
last
like
year.
10,000
They've murdered
and three.
numerous American citizens. And guess what happened to the individuals that carried out those killings? What happened to them?
What happened to them?
Have they been prosecuted? Any investigations? Do you know?
I believe they have not.
Why? It's almost as if when you commit violence,
You're wrong.
You're going to.
Sorry, ow, I laughed so hard it hurt my sinuses. It like vibrated in my skull in a way that hurt. Ow. I laughed too heartily. Ow. Well, you're wrong. No, he's not. He just fact-checked him. Because Politico describes the figure as at least, it is a tracker total rather than a final exact number. It covers this specific ICE detention policy, not every ICE or Border Patrol court case.
To be protected. That's what's going on. That's why Kristi Noem went out and said that Alex Preddy was a domestic terrorist. That's why Stephen Miller said the same thing. And everybody in the entire Republican Party apparatus is echoing those talking points. Because whenever there's violence, they don't condemn it. They condone it, they congratulate it, and they pardon it.
Law enforcement, duly elected by a population that voted in plurality for ICE to go out and engage in these
Kill
behaviors.
American citizens?
Which sometimes, yes, absolutely.
They voted for...
We sometimes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we should kill Americans. We should especially kill you, who's making me look like an idiot. Why do you want to shake my hand? My hand is clean, I promise. I wash my hand all the time.
ICE to kill American citizens, really?
Yes. Do you?
The average Republican, I don't think they're that crazy.
Who said the average Republican would vote? But do you not believe that there are people in this country that would vote for ICE to harm people? Is that
Is this your argument?
Do you believe? This is terrible.
I can't. Okay, just give me a second. Dude, this is killer. He's literally looking at him
would
like...
vote for ICE to harm people?
Is this your argument?
Do you believe?
He's literally looking at him like, there's no way you're this stupid. This guy's gonna kill me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
You believe?
This is terrible.
So you think not a single person in this country wants to harm illegal immigrants?
What's the relevance? We're talking about the fact that there is a top-down approach by Republicans like Donald Trump.
Can I ask you the question again?
Justify...
Can you answer?
Schooling the shit out of him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god, this guy's gonna kill me.
Murder
Can you answer the
and
question?
allow it to happen, foment violence in this
Can you-
country.
can you answer
and
the
you're running
question?
cover for it
Can
as
you,
a
can you,
moderate.
actually, you just did.
No, I didn't.
See, I'm
Actually
pointing.
Actually, you're doing it. No, you. What? That doesn't even make any sense. That literally, in this context, it literally doesn't make any sense. He said, you're running cover for this current administration fomenting violence. And then you said, actually, you're doing that. That doesn't even make any sense. That literally, that sentence doesn't make any sense. How? How? How would that make any sense? Maybe if this guy had said like, and you're sitting here trying to abstract, sorry. You're trying to, my fucking sick brain, distract from the fact that this argument is about this or something. Maybe it would make sense there to say no you, but that it doesn't even make sense to say no you here.
ICE violence. You're saying that people vote for it or whatever.
You don't think that there are white supremacists voting for ICE to go and harm migrants?
Are you saying that white supremacists voted for Donald Trump so they could kill migrants?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Indeed. Wait, so what did you just self-own? Great point, Tim. Isn't it interesting that the white supremacists vote for Trump? You know, the party that does violence, or sorry, the group that does violence. Indeed.
To know that white supremacists make up part of the Republican Party and Donald Trump's doing their bidding.
Yes, I certainly believe they do.
Okay.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my! Sorry, I've interrupted it so much. Please let me let the cinema play out on its own. I feel like I want it to play out on its own.
Voted in plurality for ICE to go out and engage in these
Kill American
behaviors,
citizens?
which sometimes, yes, absolutely. And
Oh, they voted for ICE to kill American citizens, really?
yes. Do you?
The average Republican, I don't think they're that
Who
crazy.
said the average Republican would vote? But do you not believe that there are people in this country that would vote for ICE to harm people? Is
this your argument?
Do you believe?
This is terrible, Tim.
So you think not a
This is so
single
bad.
person in this country wants to harm
What's
illegal
the
immigrants?
relevance? We're talking about the fact that there is a top-down approach by Republicans like Donald Trump.
Can-
and
can I
his
ask you the question
cabinet
again?
to justify
Can you ans-
murder
can you answer the
and
question?
allow it to happen, foment violence in this
Can you-
country.
can you answer
and
the
you're running
question?
cover for it
Can
as
you?
a
Can you?
moderate.
Actually, you just did.
No, I didn't.
See, I'm
Actually
I'm pointing
condemn
out.
ICE violence. You're saying that people vote for it or whatever.
You don't think that there are white supremacists voting for ICE to go and harm migrants?
Are you saying that white supremacists voted?
Dude, this is when he knew he got his ass. The moment that the words left Tim Pool's mouth where he said, do you think white supremacists don't vote for Trump? He was like, oh. I mean, if you're going to walk into it, go for it.
For Donald Trump so they could kill migrants?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good to know that white supremacists make up part of the Republican Party and Donald Trump's doing their bidding.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I certainly believe they
Okay.
do.
Okay.
The initial claim that I'm making is that there is absolutely violence on the right. I already agree with one of the previous debaters that there's
It's more significant.
institutional violence from the right as well. The best argument against my claim actually is that the right, when they get levers of power, will use law enforcement
Mm-hmm.
as their vehicle for the violence that they want to engage in. Those things are all fair. My point is that we are not
That's a
seeing...
nice, long, drawn-out concession. Thank you for...
But it's not a
conceding.
concession because maybe we agree.
Oh, okay.
See, I think...
Wait, didn't you say the...
What do you mean we agree? Your position is not the same as his. Did you forget what Jubilee? What did you forget what show you were on? You can't agree with him. He's on the other side, dumbass. Oh my God.
Modern political left commits more violence than modern political right, so now you're saying you
Just
agree with me?
because there are riots coming from the left does not mean they're morally right or wrong, or does not mean the right is better or worse. This is a statement about volume of violence that we see and a meaningful issue to a voter as to what is the underlying motivation that we see pushing violence in this country. So when you have ICE going out and engaging in these actions...
This is like a Clarence Thomas level of interpretation with that prompt. That is not what you're saying.
I don't know why you're trying so hard to disagree when we actually have common ground.
Why are you trying so hard to disagree? Did he forget what show he's on? The show is called Surrounded, where you have people that disagree. Wrong show, dumbass. Hello? He was like, you could tell the moment where Tim Pool realized, oh fuck, this isn't my usual show. Because this is what Tim Pool does on his broadcast. The moment he realizes someone is smarter than him or is more capable of debating, or is more well-read or well-studied, or all of the above, he quickly tries to reframe it as, well, we actually agree, because he realizes I can't fight this guy because he knows more than me and he can argue better than I can. So let me just convince the audience that this guy, the guy who's coming off really smart, has actually been agreeing with me the whole time because I'm really smart and all my positions are correct. And that's why he would disagree. That's why he would agree with me. But he forgot that he's not on his show. He's not on the Tim Pool show anymore. He's on Jubilee Surrounded, where people disagree with you. Why are you trying so hard to disagree with me right now? It's a very lazy, cheap strategy that works with like a really dumb audience, like Tim Pool's audience. And it is a really sneaky strategy to use in like real life, in real circumstances with real people. If you realize you're, and I'm sure many of you guys have probably done this unintentionally or without realizing, just because you have some level of emotional intelligence, where if you're having a conversation with someone and you realize the conversation's kind of going sour, or you're at like a party or something, you're talking to a bunch of people and like there's some like weird heat that you feel, you'll quickly try to like diffuse the situation by saying, no, we agree. No, I agree with you, because you don't want it to escalate because you realize, oh, bad things are about to happen. So either like you want to bail out of a conversation or you want to use someone. This is the way that Tim Pool does it. He does it to signify to his audience he is also intelligent, and that's why that's the only reason he would ever bring someone on who sounds smarter than him. It's because they actually agreed with him the whole time.
Pause, we are out of time. Thank you.
He's so mad. Oh my God.
Common ground.
Pause, we are out of time.
Oh my God, he's so mad. I'm so sorry for coughing so loudly. He's so fucking mad, dude. If you took off his beanie, it would be like a loud whistling noise. It'd be red as fuck and it would be steaming. It would be like, I don't know if the microphone picked up that particular sound that I was making, but it's supposed to sound like a steam machine or whatever.
Thank you.
Look at him. Cock shame. Look at this. Look at this. Wait.
Ground.
Pause, we are out of time.
Look at this. Cock facing the world. Cock shame. Tim. I'll pull up the diagram for those who are unfamiliar with the term. Here it is. Cock confidence versus cock shame. Notice the hands to the side of the body, allowing the cock to be free. Notice the hands in front of the cock, instinctively due to his shame, because of a lack of cock confidence, also known as cockfidence. It's tough. It's tough.
Thank you.
Nicotine, the ultimate biohacker secret. Go to knickknack.com to addictive
Authoritarianism. My next surrounded claim is that the Democratic Party has embraced authoritarianism.
If you'd like to be the
Why did he pick such indefense? Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There are some positions on the right that are tricky to defend against, right? So for example, I think like pro-choice positions are difficult because sometimes you have to bite the bullet and say, and I don't remember if it was during Sam Cedars' debate or who's, oh no, it was, I watched some of it on my own. Dean Withers' debate with like all those MAGA women, where unfortunately if you're not going to convince someone that life doesn't begin at conception, you have to bite the bullet that I don't care if you think, or if it even is murder to commit abortion or to do an abortion or to get an abortion. I think people's bodily autonomy is more important. This is a situation of lesser evils. And I'm sorry, the human being that is alive today is more important than the potential fetus the potential child from that fetus. So I don't really care if you think it's murder, or even if it is murder, this people's bodily autonomy will always come first in my book. And if that means 1,000 murders a day, then 1,000 murders a day it must be. So like there are some positions that I think are like tricky in that way. That's like the right wing positions that are tricky in that way. But like these are not good positions. He like picked positions that are not, like, they're wrong. Some positions are right and wrong, and some positions are like moral disagreements. These are just wrong. Like, I don't even understand.
First debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
That was fast. Nice to meet you. Let's start off not by, oh God, don't make me defend Republicans, but let's go.
All right, let's talk about authoritarianism.
Yeah.
What does an authoritarian government do?
So it's typically, and particularly in my claim, it's a reference to suppression of dissent, suppression of speech, control of voting, or manipulation of voting for the power, let's just call it control by a particular group of politically
Let's take those claims one at a time.
Yeah.
First, on suppression of speech.
Indeed.
Just a few hours ago today, Trump subpoenaed reporters for trying to report accurate information on the war in Iran.
Wow,
he said,
that's terrible.
No, that can't happen.
Awful.
That's way more authoritarian than what we're seeing on the left here.
Well, I mean, it's hard to quantify what is more or less authoritarian, but certainly bad when President Trump is trying to stifle speech.
Wait, can you give any example of Biden doing anything even comparable to that?
I can. We can start with Alex Berenson, who is currently in a lawsuit because the Biden administration personally went to social media platforms using his name to be suspended for his reporting on COVID vaccination and mandates.
Okay. At a top level, though, who's doing the majority of the actual suppression of speech here?
I don't really have good words for the Republican Party, to be honest. My issue.
It's so sad that Tim Pool has decided to take this pathetic, Weasley little, oh, I'm not a rightoid. I swear I'm not on the right. I swear, don't make me defend the right. I'm a centrist. And then do nothing but defend the right. It's such a cucked position to be in. It's so cringy.
With this debate is in fact what we're seeing right now is that I'll make a claim about the Democratic Party, which has done awful things, and the immediate response is, but the Republicans, and I don't like Republicans.
Here's the thing. We live in a two-party system.
Correct.
Right? We can have this great grift of oh, well, the Democrats are bad, but and the Republicans, they might be worse, but the Democrats are still bad. But the option is between Democrats or Republicans.
Yes.
So if Republicans are worse, it doesn't really matter if Democrats are slightly bad.
I think Democrats are worse.
We don't love Democrats. But we feel that Republicans are way worse when they institute these far more authoritarian policies.
It's hard to quantify more. The question is, does it suppress speech? And I certainly think Donald Trump has taken actions.
Let's look at human lives. If we want to do a quantification.
Wait, what is his what are the policies that Tim Pool thinks the Democratic Party has pushed for that silence or suppress free speech?
Let's look at ICE. 3 American citizens have been killed by ICE. That's way more than the number of American citizens killed by immigration enforcement under, say, Obama.
But it's way less than the amount of American citizens killed by Barack Obama.
No,
it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Look. I don't want to be disrespectful, but one of the biggest issues to me is the extrajudicial assassination of Abdurrahman al-Awlaki by the Obama administration. And this is what, early on in my life, when I was very anti-war, very lefty, still.
What? What is he defining as Obama killed Americans? Huh? I genuinely I don't know what I don't know what he's talking about. Is he saying Obama got Americans killed in the Middle East? Is he saying that Obama personally killed all the people in Flint, Michigan? What? How broad are we making this definition? I would like to know, because Obama did kill a number of U.S. citizens with drone strikes. Yeah, but my point is if we're using these numbers, how many more definitions or like how much wider of a pool can we cast on Trump? Because I don't think that would look good on Trump. Like if you're going to make this definition this wide, where you're saying, no, it's not Americans on American soil. We're making it Americans that are killed anywhere at any point by negligence or by intentional, by malice or with intentional desire to kill. Like we're going to make it this wide. I don't think he would like the numbers that Trump would have.
Anti-war,
Still anti-war.
and voted for Barack Obama, and then he murdered.
Are you in favor of the war in Iran?
Absolutely not. And Barack Obama killed a 16-year-old American
Okay.
citizen who was at a civilian
Again,
restaurant in Yemen.
We can play
These are
this
all
game.
bad
We can be
things.
like, oh, well, both parties are pretty bad. But like,
Indeed.
we have to, when they go to the
Indeed.
ballot office, when I go to the ballot office as a voter, I have to actually put in a vote. I have to decide Democrat or Republican or throw my vote away and vote for some third party.
A libertarian.
If I'm picking between those and there's one candidate who just brought us into a war in Iran, is causing this massive conflict, tons of human suffering, that's foreign. That's foreign policy. Domestically, we see ICE attacks on American citizens. We see 56 people dying in ICE detention camps in just...
Sorry, to explain again, chat. The reason why I said, what the fuck is he talking about, is not the idea that Obama never did anything wrong. I think everyone in here already knows that. Not to say, what is he talking about? What? Obama killed people? No, I would... Obviously... Yes, obviously. He's the drone strike king, bro. Of course. But if we're talking about authoritarianism, that has to be about domestic policy. So why the fuck would you be bringing up anything remotely foreign? Like, other than what? To muddy the question?
A singular year. You compare that to under Obama, the deporter-in-chief. Across
Indeed.
8 years, 52 people died. Way, way, way fewer. What we're seeing is dangerous conditions domestically. Way more people are dying, right? We have a lot of this like qualitative discussion. You bring up a lot of anecdotes, but if you actually like quantify the number of deaths that are occurring through these authoritarian mechanisms, it's very, very clear that when I vote, I'm choosing the lesser of two evils and voting Democrat.
Let's talk about a few structures of authoritarianism. We'll go with 2016. And you brought up Donald Trump subpoenaing these journalists, so we'll get broad on this one. In 2016, Gizmodo published an article that Facebook had been suppressing news and information from conservative outlets. This is Gizmodo. They're a progressive outlet. In fact, I worked for the company that owned them, and I was a Bernie supporter in 2016. And so agreeing with this reporting and knowing the reporters behind it, I reported this. NBC News, all of these major institutions then claimed I was a right-wing conspiracy theorist.
Here's the thing.
Let me finish. For claiming that these things were happening that they reported on. Then what we learned is that under Obama,
Jim,
under Obama and under Biden, and don't get me wrong, this was under Trump as
Well, does he not... Sorry, I was going to say, does he not realize, but I understand that he's being dishonest, that framing makes all of the difference in reporting? Two journalists can cover the exact same story, and the framing of one story can be right-wing, and the framing of another story can be completely left-wing. It happens every day. You can be called right-wing for your coverage of something. Hello? Like, take the killings in Minnesota. Every single right-wing, major right-wing platform covered those by saying, stop disobeying the police. These left-wing lunatics won't stop disobeying the police. That would be right-wing coverage of that. Hello?
well. There was an active effort from the FBI. They were given a backdoor access to Twitter and Facebook to remove content that they thought objectionable to the government, and it was not done at the behest of Trump or for his benefit, but to the benefit of those who had been defending him in the press. So notably myself, who was calling out these censorship practices, I was falsely slandered and maligned by the media over this.
Thank you, yes.
These are institutions. Now, when you say that Donald Trump is mad at them, I agree, subpoenaing journalists depending on the issue can be bad. But to see that from Obama through Trump and into Biden, they were actively given access. This is a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
Tim,
it's a violation of the First Amendment.
We're missing something really important. We're lumping together all of these different types of sort of suppression of speech, but there's a fundamental difference. When we see like left-leaning suppression of speech, often that happens from like a bottom up, where you see some company taking an action.
No, I gave you a specific example of the Biden administration going to a major big tech company, giving them specific instructions to remove people who are saying naughty words.
We saw that in the context of COVID, where vaccination vaccination was really, really important. In fact,
That's
800,000
authoritarianism.
lives were saved by vaccines. We have a really strong.
You can give me
historical
every
precedent.
reason for why you want to be an authoritarian. They always have a reason, and saving lives.
Wait, I'm sorry. What the fuck is he talking about with regard to Biden? He said Facebook? Is he talking about Biden trying to prevent vaccine misinfo? You mean trying to prevent people from getting themselves killed by listening to vaccine misinfo? Guys, I don't know if you know this, but stopping the spread of medical misinformation is actually authoritarianism. ICE agents killing people in the street and funding those same ICE agents and never having any accountability for those ICE agents, that's definitely not authoritarianism. Does he not recognize that Biden administration only asked social media to voluntarily pull down COVID misinfo, hardly authoritarian? Okay.
Always one of
There's a
them.
fundamental difference between suppressing free speech on, say, the war in Iran, where there's really bad stuff going on and we need to talk about it, and, say, spreading vaccine misinformation. In the U.S., we've had really long
You have a
precedent.
moral
Look at
opinion
Schneck versus
on the
United
differences of
States,
importance, and
right?
that's fine.
Clear and present danger test has
But
been
we're
well
talking
established.
about authoritarian.
Is it authoritarianism when the US government keeps asking you to please take down vaccine misinfo so people get vaccinated? Does he think that that's authoritarianism? Huh? Indeed. Guys, the whole right side of my face just started hurting. I might get myself some frozen peas or something. I don't even know why this is happening. The ligma is spreading. It's my body rejecting Tim Pool. It's the vaccines. She's disintegrating. Okay.
Has many different reasons. Did you think that all the tyrants of the world never gave a reason as to why they needed absolute authority? They always did. And they always do. And even today it's the case, whether it's Trump or anybody else. So when Biden's administration said, because COVID misinformation kills, we will silence you, that's authoritarianism. You can argue that you agree with it, but it still is authoritarianism. How about
That's not what? Huh?
Use Cuomo in New York as an example.
Okay, sorry. Let me pull this up. 1 second. Where is it? It is definitionally not authoritarianism when the US government is attempting, even at the worst phrasing, you can say coercion, not forcing, because they didn't force them. That's why so many Americans didn't get vaccinated, because they spent all their time on fucking Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg thought, yeah, you know what? More fear mongering. It makes people stay on our platform more. So first of all, there's that. Okay. There was no authority that ended up being exercised. Second, the preceding lawsuits or the following lawsuits ended up showing, or whatever word you want to use here, the U.S. is barred from combating disinfo on social media Here's what it means. The government's ability to fight disinfo online has suffered a legal setback that experts say will have a chilling effect on communications between federal agencies and social media companies. Tuesday ruling by a federal district judge in Louisiana could have far-reaching consequences for the government's ability to work with Facebook, other social media giants to address misleading claims about COVID. The district court, was appointed by Trump, issued a preliminary injunction on Tuesday that bars several federal governments and agencies from various interactions with social media companies. Definitionally, this would be the opposite of authoritarianism, when the corporations are fighting back against government coercion and winning. Versus Trump, who has ignored multiple court orders with regard to ICE and their jurisdiction in any given state or city. So it is literally the opposite of what he's talking about. Also, I'm going to go get ice. Ow, my cheek.
He shut down churches in violation of the First Amendment, and when he was sued and lost, he issued a secondary executive order changing the words to keep the churches closed. That is authoritarianism. And you right now defending it is my point. I have no problem saying Trump should not go after journalists, but you seem to have a problem saying the Democratic administrations should not be doing what they're doing as well.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Yeah.
If you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Long distance from back.
You made it. I'm surprised you made it.
So one of the key parts about authoritarianism is influence over elections. And we've seen that throughout the history of right-wing and left-wing, the right-wing side of this country has constantly been election deniers. Famously, Trump tried to find votes in Georgia to win the 2020 election. And now we're seeing that they're claiming voter fraud in the city of Los Angeles mayor's race.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How many presidential elections in the last 20 years were denied by Democrats?
Were denied by Democrats?
Yeah, by mainstream members of Congress going on the floor, rejecting it?
None.
All of them.
Do you see the Democratic Party trying to create an alternate slate of electors to actually try and overturn
that's a different
democratically
argument.
elected?
Certainly a different argument. But
after George W. Bush's victory in 2000, Al Gore pursued Florida recount litigation and conceded 36 days after Election Day. On December 13, when Supreme Court halted the count in 2005, Senator Barbara Boxer and Representative Stephanie Tubbs Jones made a formal objection to Ohio's electoral votes over alleged irregularities, which both chambers rejected after John Kerry had conceded. Okay, Hillary Clinton, Jimmy Carter, John Lewis, and other Democrats.
No, that was in, I think that would have been 1960, but certainly not in the last 20 years.
Pursuing a recount isn't legal, though? Did you mean is legal? Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Pursuing a recount is legal. No one had an issue with Trump requesting recounts. People had an issue with Trump calling, it was in Georgia. Oh my God, I'm like blanking on his name and his position. And being like, we need to find, Brian Kemp, thank you. Governor Brian Kemp, and saying like, we need to find, was it 11,000 votes? I need you to find me 11,000 votes. I just need 11,034 votes. I just need you to find them. Just find them for me. Just find the votes for me. Asking for a recount is fine. What? Especially when it comes, especially in the instance of with Al Gore, where it was literally the oh my God. What the fuck are they called? Hanging chats. There we go. Thank you. When what was the vote count? It was by a margin of 500 votes. I believe, or no, wait, maybe not, wait. No, it was by a margin of 500. When it's by a margin of 500 votes, asking for a recount is reasonable. That's actually very reasonable, as a matter of fact.
So we can completely agree Trump's efforts in 2020 were substantially different from, say, a handful of members of Congress and high-profile.
To try and compare that to this is insane to me.
It's just not possible to have lost Georgia. It's not possible. When I heard it was close, I said, "There's no way."
Oh, he was talking to the Republican Secretary of State, not Brian Kemp. He was talking to Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger.
Hey, but they dropped a lot of votes in there late at night. You know that, Brad. And that's what we are working on very, very stringently. But regardless of those votes, with all of it being said, we lost by essentially 11,000 votes, and we have many more votes already calculated and certified to. So I just don't know, Mark, I don't know what's the purpose. I won't give Dominion a pass because we found too many bad things, but we don't need Dominion or anything else. We have won this election in Georgia based on all of this, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. I mean, having a correct. The people of Georgia are angry, and these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated, because the 2,236 and absentee ballots, I mean, they're all exact numbers that were done by accounting firms, law firms, etc. And even if you cut them in half, and cut them in half again, it's more votes than we need.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
You said you're wrong, Omega Lol. There's nothing wrong with recounting them. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying you were incorrect. And well, the problem, Mr. President, is that you're literally wrong. You're the one who is literally wrong. Why the peas? Because I'm sick and I'm in pain. The peas helped a lot, actually, guys. It went from actually piercing pain to dull pain, so we're doing okay.
Personalities coming out and saying the election is illegitimate. But I will say, while it is not particularly mainstream, there actively are groups.
Trump won, you lost. Listen, man. I don't know if you know this, but you're losing too every time you go to the fucking gas pump, dumbass. Why is it that all Republicans are like this? They're like the boat sinking meme. I don't know if anyone has seen the one that I've shown you, or that exists. Why is it that they're all like this? What are you doing? Sinking your libtard boat. We're both on the boat, you idiot. Lol, you're so triggered right now. Go cry about it. You have boat derangement syndrome. It's just a joke. It's like, hey, dumbass, you're on the ride too, idiot. I don't know if you know this. You still have to go get groceries and gas, bitch. You just made your own life worse. What the fuck are you talking about?
Across social media that believe the election was stolen, just go on Threads for a few minutes.
God, Threads.
You will see tons of progressives arguing the election was stolen.
Tons of bots. I'm really big believer in the dead internet theory.
Well, if you don't think they're real people, that's fine. I agree with the internet theory, actually.
So look,
but
if you're talking about the right versus the
exists.
left, overall, again, we are talking about the overall picture here. Where is the majority of this coming from?
Well, let me ask you a question. You mentioned California.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you a question. Let's say there's an election that takes place, and a ballot comes in 3 days after that election. It's signed with a picture of Mickey Mouse, and it's hand dated. Do you think that is a real vote?
So guess what? In California, when you don't have a correct signature, you can do this thing called ballot curing, where you take that ballot back to the voter and you say, is this really you? And you have to get that signature again.
But
it's actually the reason why California voting, the voting process in California takes so long. It's because of the numerous checks that we have, specifically when it comes to ballot signatures. So it's always bizarre whenever Republicans and conservatives and apolitical people talk about secure voting. Meanwhile, one of the bluest states has one of the most secure elections. But, okay.
I don't think they registered with the Mickey Mouse signature.
Well, that's actually legal in California. In fact, the example given, I think, in Santa Barbara is a Kirby star image. Now, the challenge with this is, and that's why I'm not a fan of the fraud.
Santa Barbara Mickey Mouse signature claim traces to a rhetorical comment by a local Republican official about an in-person polling place sign-in sheet, not evidence that a ballot with a cartoon signature was accepted. The name Santa Barbara GOP review ultimately found no voter fraud. I'm not going to lie, guys. I've never seen someone get their ass so beat by fact-checking. Because Dave Rubin didn't make like an argument, so the fact-checking couldn't do anything against him, because he'd be like, well, listen here. I don't think that. I think we all need to hold hands together. Well, listen here. Listen. I think, it's about the vibes. And the vibe is that the Democrats are bad. It's like, what's the fact check there? What the fuck is Jubilee supposed to put? Vibe is not data. Your vibe is not we don't work on vibes. We work on data. So he didn't say, indeed, Dave Rubin kind of didn't say anything that could be factually disproved because he didn't make any statements of fact. He kind of just went based off of vibes the whole time. It's the same. It's like, it's not the same thing. It's the complete opposite with Tim Pool, where Tim Pool keeps trying to say things that are factual and just keeps saying things that are completely non-factual.
Argument from Republicans. Just stop saying fraud. This is legal in California. In California, you can draw a picture of Kirby Star in any manifestation. Now, the problem is signatures are supposed to be unique to an individual because they would be falsifiable. Meaning, I Seen your signature before, how can I match it? But if you sign up, register to vote with a picture of Kirby, anyone in the world can draw that picture of Kirby. So in California, the challenge that
but not everybody has the same name, the same social security.
No, but the point is, if a ballot is received by a homeless shelter, anyone can fill it out and draw a picture of Kirby Star.
There's a limited number of ballots that get sent to registered voters who are registered with the state.
Well, it's universal mail-in voting. And for instance, there was a homeless shelter in Venice Beach that received 185 mail-in votes despite no one living there. And so,
yes, because people that live on the street have addresses registered to shelters because they don't have anywhere else to get mail.
And so what we've already seen is undercover video showing that activists do go to places like Skid Row and secure voter registration, where in one video, a man who's clearly not a woman says his name is Teresa, sure, he'll fill it out. Now, the problem is that man will fill this out under the name Teresa. He will sign, he'll put an X, a mark, which is legal in California. The other issue is that ballots can be received. So it gets complicated, but in California, if a ballot is received before the election, it can be hand dated.
I'm sorry.
If it's received after the election.
Wait. Was there a fact check on this stupid thing?
The other issue is that ballots can be received. So it gets complicated, but in California, if a ballot is received before the election, it can be hand dated. If it's received after the election, it has to be post dated. However, a ballot can only be rejected if two independent officials can prove beyond a reasonable doubt it has violated one of these tenets. So I do take issue with Republicans saying voter fraud all the time when it's legal to do this in California. But I think if you go to a regular American and say, ask him this question, and I'll ask you this question: how did Nithya Raman surpass?
Is he joking? Genuinely, does he think people are going to homeless shelters and picking up all the mail-in ballots? Is he joking?
Aaron Bass, both Democrats in mail-in votes only after Election Day.
Because young people vote later, and Nithya Raman won the young vote.
Well, the truth is that the DS.
Los Angeles chapter of Democratic Socialists of America publishes a how-to ballot delivery guide that instructs volunteers to collect sealed, completed vote by mail ballots and return them through DSA LA canvas leads, the mail or official ballot drop boxes. Critics call this ballot harvesting. The more neutral third-party term, term is third-party ballot collection or ballot delivery, in which a voter authorizes someone else to return a completed ballot. Does he know that, like, you as a voter, you don't need to give it to one of these, like, 2,000 mules or whatever? I don't understand what the problem is. Like, then do you think people would give their ballot to someone that they don't think would deliver it? What? I don't even understand the argument that he's making. It's just not fair because leftists are so beautiful and smart and funny. So of course I trust them with my life. And then of course they betray me. Just like all the women I've ever talked to betray me. It's like, what argument are you making? Yes, you can give your ballot to someone else for the purpose of collection and delivery if you don't have the ability or desire to personally go to the drop box. What?
Say on their website advocates for ballot harvesting, which is legal, and they're allowed to do it, and more power to them. It's very smart.
So do the Republicans. They go to senior centers all across the country and get.
Okay, we're going to pause here. You've been voted out by the majority. You can head
Good talking with you.
Also, what does this have to do with authoritarianism?
If you'd like to be the next debater, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
No contest. Likewise.
Elections, as you were talking about the other person before, I think are sacred. I think elections are sacred, and I believe that they are the most fundamental thing to American values and democracy. We have never seen, ever in American history, the attempt to subvert a free and fair election compared to how Donald Trump and his cronies did on January 6th. And I think that it's absolutely ridiculous to claim that that is somehow comparable to the Biden administration talking to Facebook and certain social media platforms to ban Donald Trump, when social media platforms have been under attack by Donald Trump as well. We had in Florida how the right now chair of the RNC is now pursuing.
Sorry, dude, I can't with liberals. I believe that voting is the most secret thing ever.
Legal action against Facebook, Twitter, etc., for banning Donald Trump, which was a decision that they made without Biden's interference.
Well, I don't think arguing like a civil litigation is it's hard to argue civil litigation as a big political issue. If there's a contract violation committed by a company and Trump wants to sue them, certainly if you have the opinion, you don't believe that you believe there's malice there.
It's the current RNC chair.
Right.
That's
My
like
argument is
pursuing like regulatory action against them for banning Donald Trump.
Right. So these are civil issues, and the challenge is I don't know the facts. You don't know the facts.
You don't think civil issues can be political?
They certainly can. But the point I'm making is that sometimes companies do bad things, and we need regulatory bodies to go after them. I'm in favor of that. Now, the question is, are the Republicans bad for doing it? Honestly, I don't know because I don't know the underlying issues of the case. Maybe they are, maybe they're not.
So I'll bring up another.
Isn't that so amazing that, like, anytime the Republicans do stuff, it's like, I don't know if this one is bad. I don't know. Maybe when they did it this time, I don't know. Biden was literally the biggest authoritarian dictator in the world when he asked Facebook to take down their anti-vax conspiracy theories. He was literally doing full Mussolini, what does Aiden Ross say? Benito Mussolini, anti-analytist. He was doing that the whole time when he was like, hey, you guys really should take this down. You really should take this down. This is going to get millions of people killed. Aiden Ross. Fascism.
What does a fascist mean?
It means you are a far right authorization on ultra-analyst, analyst, political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, bro. I swear to God. I don't know what the fuck a fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is. Benito Mussolini and Giviante Genitile.
Genitile. Benito Mussolini.
And Jason Stanley. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro? Never heard in my fucking life. What is an example of a fascist? Yo!
The one that sends me every time is ultra annalatist. How do you get that from that word? How do you see ultra nationalist and get ultra annalatist? Because listen, I get it. Like, some words in English are not pronounced the way that they look because English is a bullshit language. Okay? There are lots of English words that make no fucking sense, that are complete bullshit. But ultra nationalist is one of the few words that looks exactly the way it sounds. It's ultra nationalist. Now, admittedly, if he had said ultra nationalist, I would have given him that one as well, because nation and national are pronounced differently. I would have been like, you know what, ultra nationalist, whatever, that's fine. But ultra nationalist is like that one, you can sound that out, you know? There are some words in English that are just, you can't sound them out. Imagine seeing the word foreigner for the first time ever. Listen, I get it. I'm a reasonable person. But like, ultra nationalist is like, that one is, it's spelled exactly how it looks. Like, I don't understand. Night, sure. Night is another one, sure. That when the K's are randomly silent, when the G's are randomly silent, I understand. I'm willing to be understanding. But some of these are like, you can just chunk them. Some of these have prefixes and suffixes that we use all the time, and they sound exactly the same every single time. Maybe he's dyslexic, but dyslexia doesn't explain why he doesn't even know who
Benito Mussolini and
why he doesn't know who Benito Mussolini is. Like, I feel like everyone knows Mussolini. Maybe you don't know everything about Mussolini, but I feel like everyone should know Mussolini's name. I don't even remember a time when I didn't know Mussolini. You don't have to be super familiar with Mussolini to know Mussolini. That maybe I'm mistaken, but that feels like it's up there with like knowing who Stalin is. Like, you just know. Like, if you go through public school, you learn about those people. I don't think those are. I don't. That's not a dyslexia. It's not a dyslexia problem to not know who Mussolini is, unless I'm mistaken about what dyslexia means. But I was pretty sure that being dyslexic doesn't mean you don't know who Mussolini is. I think that might be different. I think it might be different. Respectfully.
I mean, in Massachusetts, for example.
Wait, why did I bring that up?
I'm in favor of that. Now, the question is, are the Republicans bad for doing it? Honestly, I don't know, because I don't know the
I don't know if Republicans are bad when they do authoritarianism. But when Biden does it, he is literally Benito Mussolini.
underlying issues of the case. Maybe they are, maybe they're not.
So I'll bring up another instance. I mean, in Massachusetts, for example, we just had 2 Republicans who were running for Attorney General and Lieutenant Governor who were literally faking signatures on their ballots.
Lock them up.
Literal dead people.
Yeah, lock them
who,
up.
And if you look at the papers, they're the same signature down the ballot.
Yeah.
It's the same person, this third party that they hired, who was literally had the same exact handwriting. And they tried, like,
yeah, lock them up.
thousands of signatures across Massachusetts.
Oh, it's so it's so liberal. Oh, he's so liberal. I just want everyone to know I'm using that word as a slur. If Twitch bans me for using liberal as a slur, and I'm throwing in the hard R, liberal, okay, but like, why are you fighting this point? Why are you still being like, and this is so bad, because how could he do this? How could he do? this man, this Republican did this. It's like, what are we doing here, man? Get back on this.
Were then considered moot because they were literal dead people from all across the state. And those are two Republicans. Right. And you have, I mean, there are countless instances of Republicans, not just Donald Trump, trying to subvert American elections. And I think that is one of the most authoritarian things that anybody in this country can do, is to subvert the free and fair elections of the United States.
I think certainly that we have a problem with two ancient political parties. I think the real big picture is here, and I'm not saying this to dismiss your anger over what these Republicans did. You're certainly warranted to believe that. I agree. I think they should go to jail for that stuff. The problem is both political parties are playing this procedural game of trying to steal elections through the procedure instead of convincing people. The Republicans are redistricting in all of these different states to give themselves.
January 6th was procedure.
I'm talking right now about both parties engaged. Yeah, certainly January 6th was a riot and it was very, very bad. We can agree on those things. I'm saying that both parties have these procedural efforts to increase their ability to win elections. Right now, Republicans are redistricting
I fundamentally disagree with that because
well, what are the? Wait, can you describe the procedural efforts by Democrats to control elections?
Republicans were the ones that voted against a bill to ban gerrymandering federally in the United States. Republicans were the ones that continuously.
Dude, this is so out of... Who needs haters when you got chatters like this? Bro has gray hairs in his beard and he's still wearing a fucking beanie. He's worn the same shirt for 15 years, just like Denims. What did I do to you? I come here on my sick day when I am in such excruciating pain from laughing too hard to the point where for the first time ever in my streaming history, I brought literally a bag of frozen peas to help soothe my pain. And you come here and you call me one shirt Denims. And this is a new shirt.
Deny the fact that Joe Biden won the 2020 election free and fair. Democrats have not once and they have been very consistent on this, on protecting American elections. It's
also, that's totally a good point, by the way. Just end it with, and you know how we know this? Because they got caught and the votes were invalidated because the process works. Well, Republicans love to talk about like common sense politics and common sense, except when common sense doesn't make any sense to them or it doesn't help their political positions or help further their agenda. So like I think the best example of this, although it also applies here as well, is being trans. It is completely nonsensical to alienate your entire family, in some instances, your friends, to potentially lose your job. God forbid you are married with children, alienating your immediate chosen family as well. Potentially going through the process of being invalidated by a variety of doctors, having to pay an exorbitant amount of money to seek any type of treatment, and then having to be in this awkward phase of transitioning, but maybe not perfectly passing. And my understanding is that a lot of trans people who do detransition, a big part of the desire to detransition comes from this awkward phase where it's like the equivalent of like shaving your hair and then, or like getting like a short cut and then you have this awkward haircut in the middle where you're like, it looks so shit. That's the one reason why I feel like I can never cut my hair too short, because I know when it gets to the awkward phase, it's going to piss me off so bad. I'm going to be so tempted to cut it again. So like, I think between all of the social pressure and also just like your personal feelings and everything, because I can't imagine it's a very particularly pleasurable experience to consistently get misgendered while you're in the process of trying to transition publicly. So there's so much torment you must suffer, or that so many trans people suffer, and they're doing it for fun. Like the conservatives in this country are so dumb that they're like, they must be doing it for fun and attention. It's like, I see that and I see someone who is actually trans. I don't need to know anything else about trans people. I don't need to have read a single paper, although I have, to be like, yeah, you would only go through all of this headache if you really felt this way. This must be something that is very core to yourself as a, like, you as a person, to like your soul, to go through all of this heartache and all of this headache. It must be actually genuinely your truth. Because I can't imagine, I would never choose to do and deal with all of that for fun. Why the fuck would I ever do that? Oh my God. It takes unimaginable strength and determination to willingly choose to become society's most hated boogeyman at the moment. Like, it's just not, it's just so, it's so obviously, it should be the common sense position that this has to be something that is real. That if this many people feel this way and have felt this way for forever, then I don't know. I think it's just common sense to be like, okay, I guess it must be real. Because I know that I would never do that for fun or for attention. That's way too much effort and work and just like torment for no reason. What the hell? And then conservatives will look you straight in the eye and be like, no, it's fake. It's like, okay, dude. Oh my God. You're an idiot. Like, what? You're a fucking idiot. And it's the same thing with the voter fraud. It's like, no, the voter fraud is widespread. There's thousands of mules. They're all over the place. Trump's own DOJ shows that it's the most secure election. They can't procure more than like a smidge of instances of voter fraud. And generally speaking, the voter fraud tends to be from Republicans. And the punishment for committing voter fraud is like, I don't remember what the minimum penalty, but like, I know the maximum penalty is a couple years in fucking jail. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting in a fucking jail cell for any number of minutes so that my candidate can win by like 1 vote, 2 votes. It's not worth it. That's literally not worth it. Maybe they should run a better fucking campaign for once so that I wouldn't have to do that. I'm not going to go to jail for Kamala Harris. Are you crazy? Or are you insane? So it's also just like, this is another instance of like, this should be common sense. That there's no way that someone would do that. Like that's, and the people who do are fucking insane. That's why it's so rare that it happens, because nobody's gonna go to fucking jail to throw in 1, 2, 3 extra votes. Like, Dino Denims classic. I'll go to jail for Zoran though. But my point is, but the point is that the type of people that you would want to do that for don't need you to do that because they're so liked that people will vote for them anyways. So if the candidate just ran a good campaign, you wouldn't need to do that. The only time you would need to do that is when the campaign fucking sucks, in which case you shouldn't even be doing that because the campaign sucks, because the candidate sucks.
Our name.
Democrats in
democracy.
2016 accused Donald Trump and his associates of being Russian assets and trying to steal the election at the behest of a foreign adversary, going so far to accuse the president of the United States of treason. There was a multi-year investigation that cost tens of millions of dollars that ended up being nothing. That's election denial. Now, I don't think that's as bad as a bunch of people storming the Capitol. That's terrifying and substantially worse, physical violence. But yeah, I think if you look back at the history of this country going back decades...
Timmy Tim. I don't think anyone should be talking about Russian interference. Okay, between me and you, I just don't think you're the right person to deliver that message. Mr. Ukraine is the enemy of the West.
It would be a bit naive to say that the political parties aren't doing everything in their power to steal power from each other.
Again, so I mean, I don't want to pivot to Mueller, which in fact also.
But also, we should get caught up in being like Republicans are bad because Republicans are bad.
When Mueller passed away, rest in peace, an American hero, Donald Trump literally said, "I'm glad he's dead."
It's awful.
And he no longer can hurt innocent.
Isn't that interesting that whenever anyone talks about people on the right that died, you're the most evil person ever for laughing about their death? And then when we talk about someone that's on the right or someone that's on the left that dies, he's literally chuckling. So we're all evil people for what? Kirkifying everything? Papa perky, now I'm kirky or whatever. But this guy can literally chuckle about it and it's fine.
People.
I know.
So, like, again, another instance of Republicans, I would consider threats
Throw him
against
out there,
people
brother.
like that authoritarian.
Throw him out there. When he said that, I said it was disgusting. I mean, it's horrifying. But it doesn't change the fact that Bernie Sanders had the election taken away from him illicitly. I think in 2016, I was first.
Mueller wasn't even on the left and they reacted like that.
For Bernie, he was talking about securing borders because the Koch brothers, industrialists, wanted to bring in cheap labor. He was talking about getting better wages for the working class, supporting unions. And I said, this is the only guy who's been speaking to issues for the past 20 years that actually matter to working class American people. And what did the Democratic and what did the Democratic Party do? They used super delegates to make sure he could not win.
Okay, so first off, I'm a big fan of Bernie myself, so I guess it's something you could get on there. I will say that if you as a supporter of Donald Trump, I find it kind of ironic that you believe in anything closely related to Bernie Sanders. I'll give you a few examples.
9 million people who are Democrats voted for Donald Trump in 2016.
Yeah, and I also say 3 million, millions of people, I think it was a couple million in West Virginia, your state, that voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary and then had to switch to Donald Trump. I criticized my own party for that, and I think that was wrong. My point is not that the Democratic Party has never, ever, ever used something or participated, I would say, in bad faith in elections. My point is that we see consistently from Republicans, consistently over and over again.
Parties.
Again,
why make all these fucking concessions? Oh my God.
I think that's both parties are all bad. You literally had Donald Trump try to subvert the fair election.
You've been voted out by the majority.
Good talking with you, man.
Thank God it's over. Okay. Guys, I think if I stream any more Tim Pool, I'm going to die. I think I'm actually dying. I'm the pain is getting worse. I think I'm allergic to Tim Pool. The Tim Pool is literally deteriorating, causing me to deteriorate. He's worsening my condition. I'm going to lay down for an hour until I hopefully feel better. Are you hydrating? Oh, my piss is clear. My piss is fucking clear, dude. But yeah, it's I'm just getting brutalized. I'm gonna head off, but please, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. I will see you guys soon. Hopefully, I will feel better soon. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye, everybody. Go see a dentist. I'm sick, dumbass. I'm sick. There's a bunch of fucking nerves in your face, and they're all connected, dumbass. All right. Sorry. Okay. Bye, everybody. Bye.